Woodward Sports Network presents a sports show that's more than just sports. Welcome to The Bottom Line with U of M great and former NFL star Braylon Edwards and Ryan Ermani. Sit back and let's talk some Detroit sports right now on The Bottom Line.
And here we go! Woo! Here we go. Friday, April 15th. Not tax day today, by the way. You have until Monday.
Thank God.
To get your checks in. Ermani and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermani, Braylon Edwards out today. He will be back Monday. He is on the mend. Just finishing the week, resting up there. Caught the flu bug this week, and he was fighting a good fight, but he will be back Monday, and we're looking forward to that. In the meantime, the great Stick is with us today, and looking good, by the way, too.
You know, I told you yesterday, I was like, Ryan, what are you wearing? You're like, I don't know if I'm going to wear a tie tomorrow, but I had to match your energy. I'm not going to sit up on this desk and look like a clown when I'm sitting next to a professional broadcaster, looking all good, and you know what? The tie's here, and it may be here to stay.
I'm all disheveled. Just been wearing this since 4:30 today. That's all. Tom Mazaway, good afternoon to you, my friend.
And then there's me.
Well, that's how people want to see you anyway.
Right. I know.
You know, that's how people want to see you.
If and when I do get buried, I will, if I do get buried, will be buried in sweats.
Absolutely.
Not a question about it.
Do you want to get buried, by the way?
No, I think I want to just flame on.
Right. Well, you can't feel it anyway.
Right? Burn you in a velour jumpsuit.
Do it, baby. just like a good old puss on Sopranos.
Oh,
take me down.
Man. Poor guy.
By the way, you guys look great for your school pictures.
Thank you, buddy.
Wonderful.
This is the end of the week. I even got the sleeves rolled up today. I actually wore a dark pair of jeans today on the air.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at that.
Save some for the rest of us,
dark
Ryan.
Pair of jeans. Oh, I don't know if you get that's
Are those designer jeans?
No, this is some Mavi Stitch Fix.
Vidal Sassoon.
Some Stitch Fix Mavi jeans.
Some Gerbos.
Yeah, remember those?
I used to rock the Gerbos a lot. I love my Gerbos.
Now, did you guys used to roll up the bottom of your...
Oh, tight roll?
Oh, yeah, tight roll the bottom of your pant leg?
I would tight roll the skids and then go roller skating at Bonaventure with my silk shirt on, and I was the man.
Oh,
you still are.
You couldn't tell me nothing in 6th grade.
Roll. I could get a pretty good tight roll on there myself.
Did you have to use the pins? Or did you just straight up?
Straight up tight.
Okay, good.
Straight up tight.
My man.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to Woodward Sports. Tell a friend about us. Over 23,000 subscribers now, so we are growing on that platform, and that is very, very good. If you want to call the show today, you can do so. 313-552-6322, albeit if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Google however you're listening to us, if you're not doing that live, probably not a good idea to call the show at that point. But for the live listeners and anybody watching on YouTube, feel free to go ahead and give us a call. We're going to have some fun today because I got some things I want to talk about, including this new league that's happening this weekend. The USFL is back. There's some pretty cool things about that I want to hit on. But we've just got in the last hour here, I think this is a pretty significant development. Albert Breer, formerly of the NFL Network, now of the Monday Morning Quarterback, he did a mock draft of the top 12 players in the draft. And it's not so much about who he's got going where, but it's what he said about Kayvon Thibodeau and the relationship to Dan Campbell. Here's the write-up here for this, okay? And this tweet we're showing right now on YouTube is basically a summation of what I'm going to read to you right now. The Detroit Lions at 2. A lot of people are convinced that they will go edge rusher here regardless. And I'd agree if that means that Aiden Hutchinson is there. This will become academic for them. If he's not, and by the way, in Albert Breer's mock draft, he does have Hutchinson going number 1 to Jacksonville. But if he's not, well, I can tell you that no one I've talked to, you ready for this, believes that Oregon's Kayvon Thibodeau is in any way a culture fit for Detroit coach Dan Campbell. Quote, his personality is a lot, end quote, said one exec. And, quote, and you hear the head coach there isn't a fan. So here's the quote again. His personality is a lot, and you hear the head coach there isn't a fan. That's a quote from one NFL exec, what he had to say about Kayvon Thibodeau coming to Detroit.
I told you. I told you.
So before we get into who he does have mocked there, that kind of goes, I don't want to say goes in line, but that is always in the back of our minds too, right? About Kayvon Thibodeau and his love for football. Braylon has sat here and talked about, yes, he loves other things. That is okay. But for some coaches, it just doesn't mesh.
And especially for a coach like Dan Campbell, who is an all-in football guy nonstop. He wakes up, he pounds his, 12 shots of espresso, and then he thinks about football. He goes to bed thinking about football. So if you're not fitting that type of scheme, then I don't think he's going to be a part of it. But it's also interesting because Kayvon Thibodeau, 3 months ago, everybody projected number one. Him and Hutchinson. Who's going to go number one, number two? And then you're watching all these mock drafts. You see the combine happen. You see all of that, and he's continuing to drop down the board. Like, I've even seen him mocked out of the top 10 at this point. So, to me, is that a character thing? Is that what's holding him back? Are people starting to learn that this guy doesn't interview well? This guy isn't necessarily a team player. This guy, like you said, he's got a big personality, and sometimes you don't want to disrupt a locker room, especially with the good juju that the Lions had, the way they closed out the season. Bringing in somebody that's going to be the big personality and take over a locker room, you may not want that. You already have that with your head coach.
Maz, we've talked about it a lot in that if it's not Malik Willis, and we obviously want Malik Willis to be the selection there, but I think in my heart of hearts, I've always thought if it's not Willis, it is probably just going to go back to what we thought 3-4 months ago, that it was either going to be Hutchinson or Thibodeau. Whoever Jacksonville didn't take, the Lions take the other one.
Trayvon Walker is moving on up, though, big time. His name, it's been all over the news in the last week. And last night I'm at the bowling alley, and the guys all come up to me. This one team especially, they are all Lions draft nicks. They listen to us, and they're like, you're not still on Willis, Maz. They're not taking Willis. We're taking a defensive end. Thibodeau's the guy. Thibs is the guy. No question about it. And I'm saying, I'm sticking to my guns. I want Malik Willis. Now, everything I've read and everything I'm looking at, it's showing that they're probably not going to take him. Do I want them to take him? Yes, I want them to take him. I'm sticking with my guns. I think you take your quarterback here because there's no outstanding guy here.
Sure.
This just shows you this guy was supposed to be it. And now you're going to pass up on him because you don't really like his personality. You don't believe in him. You don't believe he shows up on every play. We've talked about him. He would have been better off taking this year off than playing the way he did.
And that's a fact, right? I mean, because we've seen that before. Now, you mentioned Trayvon Walker. Here's the write-up continuing from Albert Breer on Monday Morning Quarterback. Walker, on the other hand, would make sense if the Lions are confident that they can develop him into more than what he was on his college tape. The biggest issue there really is that most of his splash plays in college were made in open field situations where he was simply chasing someone down rather than doing what you'd hope he'd do as a pro, which is rush the passer off the edge. He's on my radar for the Lions at 2 on Thursday. There's a period missing here. On my radar for the Lions at 2 on Thursday is defensive back. That may seem a little early for Cincinnati's Sauce Gardner, LSU's Derek Stingley Jr., or, for that matter, Notre Dame's Kyle Hamilton, whom I've heard they like.
Uh-oh.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If they don't take Malik Willis, and they're probably not going to, I'd rather have Sauce Gardner than any of these guys
Another
you're talking
cornerback
about.
That early?
I'd rather have him.
Can't do it.
I'm just saying, I'd rather have him than these guys that I don't really believe in.
It would also be a head turner if the Lions took Hamilton or Gardner, since the Lions took a corner with the third pick 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But looking at the makeup of the class overall, this just might be the year where, if you're picking this high, you just take the guy you like best.
That's it.
That said, and we have been saying this forever, regardless of who they take it to, you will not sit there and say they got value at 2. You're just not. There is no pick on here that matches that number 2 selection other than Aiden Hutchinson. If you went back to last year's draft and slotted any one of these guys, Aiden Hutchinson, Sauce Gardner, Malik Willis, Kayvon Thibodeau, go look at last year's draft and we'll pull it up. and tell me where Aiden Hutchinson would go last year.
Like 13, 15 in that area, I think.
Tell me, there were 5 quarterbacks taken in the first 15 picks of last year's draft. Where would Malik Willis have gone? And look, that's the guy I want. But if he's in last year's draft, Malik Willis is the 6th quarterback taken. Maybe.
I don't know, because he's comparable to Trey Lance in a lot of ways, and San Francisco fell in love with Trey Lance.
Trey Lance's numbers in college were ridiculous.
Yeah, and Trey Lance, all projections show that he's going to be a great
North Dakota State, didn't he? Or something crazy like that?
Then bring up the school again. Because last night the guys are like, he played for Liberty. He didn't play against anybody. I don't care. He had the most freaking touchdowns. He's he's a walking highlight.
I'm with you. You're not fighting against me. I'm with you. I'm just saying if Malik Willis was in last year's draft, he's probably going
before Mac Jones.
You think before Mac Jones?
Yes.
I don't think that because of where Mac Jones went. Mac Jones was pegged to go to San Francisco as well. I mean, up until they
tricked people.
Up until they made the pick, you didn't know if it was Lance or Mac Jones.
You remember they said, they traded 3 number ones. They taken Mac Jones. And that was the word.
And then, if New England had the number 1 pick last year, they were so set on Mac Jones, they probably would have taken him over anybody.
And that's the thing. And now that we have so much at the top there, you really don't know who it is. Do you want the Lions to trade out of this pick and try to get value and move down? Because if we don't have a guaranteed grand slam home run starter coming in at that number 2 pick, it's a failure of a number 2 pick. That number 2 pick has to be a starter day 1. Dan Campbell even said that in a press conference.
Okay, start Malik Willis then.
Huh?
Then start Malik Willis.
I'm okay with that.
Okay,
I am
win
okay
5
with that.
games and pick again.
But what Ryan's saying right now is, hey, man, no matter who you pick, there's going to be somebody that you regret after that, right? So maybe we try to get more value.
Right, here's the difference. Not only one person, like in years past, right? When the Lions take Terry Fair, Randy Moss is out there. When the Lions take the tight end Eric Ebron, oh my gosh, Aaron Donald's there. This year, you're going to say that about every single player picked after this pick. I'll tell you where I think Hutchinson would go. This year's projected number 1. Where would Aiden Hutchinson go in last year's draft? I'll tell you. Coming up next, Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Detroit.
The official sticker partner of Woodward Sports. When it comes to stickers and signage, think Sticker Genius. We support this local Detroit business, and we are excited to show you our latest project, the Planet Fitness Studio from Sticker Genius. If you need custom stickers, wall graphics, window graphics, and plenty more, reach out to our friends at Sticker Genius. We at Woodward Sports couldn't be any happier with the service they provided us. They were quick, easy to deal with, and super professional. Head to stickergenius.com today.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, gang! How would you like to win $100K? Yep, you heard me correctly, $100,000. All you have to do is get to a Lady Jane's today, get a precision haircut, and register for your chance to be 6 figures richer. Get to a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men near you and let one of their talented stylists treat you like a freaking king, because that's what happens all over Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. All you got to do, walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee. My goodness. Walk in. Over 100 locations nationwide. Walk in, register to win $100K. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked.
So a couple of things about this, and it's funny, on ESPN TV, which we have in here, they just flashed up, their show This Just In, that Aiden Hutchinson, not a done deal to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So here we are, less than 2 weeks out, and it's one of the rare drafts where you really don't know what the number 1 pick is let alone the number 2
Jacksonville's got to take an offensive lineman. They cannot go defense with that pick. I think it's a waste for them, especially after last year, the debacle that they had with Trevor Lawrence and, the coach, obviously, Urban Meyer causing so much chaos. You got to protect the guy. And I know we bashed kind of Cincinnati last year for not doing that during the draft and protecting Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase turned out to be a pretty damn good pick, but think about the Bengals if they were able to protect Joe Burrow with the Penei Sewell. And I thought that's where they're going to go. So if you got that franchise guy, you need to protect him.
This draft is literally like the World Series of poker. Mm-hmm. Nobody is giving their hand in. This is beautifully played game of poker here.
And
we're in the game, finally.
Yeah.
So it's funny, Stick, you say they've got to protect the quarterback. Jacksonville's got to get their left tackle. And in Albert Breer's mock draft, where he just did the top 12 players, he's got 3 offensive linemen in the top 6 or 7, 3 offensive tackles. So the reason why I changed my stance on offensive linemen that high or even in the first round, unless you're late, is because of that stat that we keep going back to. The last 5 Super Bowl winners, if you add those teams together, there's only 3 first-round offensive linemen on those 5 Super Bowl championship teams. Most of the offensive linemen on Super Bowl championship teams are 4th round or later or undrafted free agents. It is incredible, much like Evan Brown was last year for Frank Ragnow. Evan Brown, backup center here in Detroit, nearly made the Pro Bowl. And instead, obviously, I think Frank Ragnow is considered the best center in the league, one of them, top
for
10
sure.
offensive lineman in the league. And here you have Evan Brown, who played just as good.
Yeah.
Who is an undrafted free agent.
Well, you look at the pieces that are surrounding
right.
him. Another number 1 pick with Taylor Decker. Another number 1 pick with Penei Sewell. So, we've spent the draft equity on building that offensive line. And to me, the game will always be won with the big fellas. You need to win that game in the trenches. When Ndamukong Suh and Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, they were able to put pressure on him. They were able to get him. They were able to attack him. If Kansas City had a better offensive line, it would have prevented that. But the defensive line is huge to put pressure on the quarterback, and you need your offensive line to protect them. So big men are my biggest way to go in the NFL.
Just to put this year's draft in perspective, comparing it to last year, if Aiden Hutchinson, who is this year's projected number 1 player, and whether he turns out to be number 1 or not, he's the projected guy. Most people will say that. If you put him in last year's draft, Trevor Lawrence 1, Zach Wilson 2, Trey Lance 3. So those 3 would hold up. Kyle Pitts at 4.
Yep.
That would hold up. Jamar Chase at 5. Jalen Waddle
Waddle
at
would
6.
not hold up.
I don't know, because they had Tua.
Yeah.
They had Tua. They had to get him some wide receiver help. So I don't know. Maybe there. Sewell in Detroit. Would they pick Sewell or would they pick Aiden Hutchinson? I don't know that answer. So 7 would be a spot for him to go, and certainly 8 or 9. J.C. Horn, defensive back from Carolina, went to Carolina, and Patrick Surtain went number 9 to Denver. So you'd go 7, 8, or 9. Last year, I'd slot Aiden Hutchinson.
Sounds about right.
7, 8, or 9.
Yeah.
And that's about, again, and the reason I bring that up is because no player that you pick at 2 is going to say, oh, yeah, that's the number 2 selection in the draft.
And it's scary this year. It really is scary for the Lions, and that's why I'm hoping they trade back, get some more draft equity, and move back to that 8 spot, because then you're picking from what's left over of those 8 talented guys, and you can't lose.
I almost feel like we can't say that anymore, though.
What, trade back?
Trade back.
Why?
Because there's no player to trade up for.
Us.
Yeah.
But Carolina's fallen. They need a quarterback, right? So you dangle that in front of them, and maybe they want to trade. You saw, who was it, Philadelphia stack a bunch of picks together, too, that they can now move and transition with. So, I don't know. I trust Brad Holmes.
That would be the only situation that I can envision of a team trading up, would be Carolina. Yep. Unless they just
How about Pittsburgh?
But they're not going to get from 20 to 2. They're just not. And in fact, I don't think Detroit should go down to 20 either.
That is a little too far.
You talk to me about staying in the top 10, I'm good with. But if you want to go all the way back to 20, because I don't even know if you want 3 first-round picks next year. You got to pay all those guys. That all costs money.
What if Seattle fell in love with somebody at 9? 9 to 2.
if Seattle fell in love
with a quarterback or someone that they wanted,
then they trade with the Giants at 5, and they get in front of Carolina.
Right.
That's how that happens.
Sure.
And honestly, if you're Carolina and you think Detroit is going to take the quarterback Malik Willis, you know who you do?
We talked about that.
You call Jacksonville. Yeah. You don't call Detroit. You call Jacksonville to get in front of Detroit.
That's fair.
So, I mean, I ideally, you'd hope they could trade back. But I'm just not sure that's a legitimate option.
Remember yesterday we talked about Dan Orlovsky, and he said, or was it 2 days ago maybe, that he guarantees, he'll bet the house that the Lions take a defensive end.
Yep.
And now if you read what Albert Breer is writing, that it's not Kayvon Thibodeau, and if Hutchinson goes number 1, then who the hell are you going to reach for?
Trayvon Walker.
You're going to reach for him?
Everybody's going to be a reach at 2. That's my...
But that's a big reach.
Well... And what Albert Breer said here, stick to, if you're picking this high, you just have to take the guy you like best. And even if that's an offensive lineman, which I would be vehemently against.
That's the one place we don't have to draft.
That is the one place that I don't think we need help. But at this point, I just think you do take the highest player rated on your board.
Right, that fits your team, because that's even if Kayvon Thibodeau is the highest rated player on your board, if he's not the guy that's going to fit the culture, you move on and you bring the guy that keeps things rolling. Because, like we said in the first segment here, that is something that the Lions were able to build at the end of last season. I mean, those last 4 games were kind of a microcosm of what they could be this year, and you want to keep everybody on the same page. You don't want to bring in somebody that's going to rock that boat. So as long as they're a hard worker, they love football, they get up every day thinking about hitting somebody, I think they'll fit in just fine here with the Lions.
All right, here's another sidebar. Supposedly Kenny Pickett's coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
He played in the Senior Bowl, but he played on the Jets side of the field, Robert Saleh. So the Lions had a chance to check out Malik Willis. Desmond Ridder and Kenny Pickett were on the other side of the field. So if Kenny Pickett is coming to town, they're talking to him. They've already had enough time to talk to him when they were down in Mobile, Alabama. They already did all their homework on Malik Willis. And you don't hear anything about Malik Willis here. You just don't. They don't talk about him. That's what, to me, it just tells me it's a quarterback. It's got to be a quarterback here. And now Kenny Pickett's coming. He's not going to be there at 32.
Well,
he's not. That's impossible. He will not.
I don't think Kenny Pickett gets to 32, but I think the Lions are doing their homework, and this is from Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. One of the Lions' final pre-draft visits next week will be with Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett. It's the only known quarterback visit for Detroit, which owns 3 of the top 34 picks, including 2 overall, continuing due diligence on top prospects. Now, I don't think Kenny Pickett is an option at 2, but what I think you see there is if he gets to 24, 25, somewhere in there, if he gets past Pittsburgh at 20, well, then maybe you got a real shot there, and that's maybe a situation where you do pack 34 and 32 and give it to somebody to go up and get a guy like Kenny Pickett, if that's the guy that you want. I'd rather take Willis at 2 and keep my picks at 32 and 34, but that's me. And again, if you're just tuning in, news today, this from Albert Breer of Monday Morning Quarterback. He says that the Lions in no way, it's not a culture fit for Dan Campbell when it comes to Kayvon Thibodeau. Quote, his personality is a lot, and you hear the head coach there isn't a fan. So
I wonder what that was. Like, what do you think that he said? Because I haven't really heard any rumors about him being a character issue guy.
Character is not, and maybe we can examine this a little bit further. I don't think it's a character issue. I just think this guy likes more things than just football. And to some organizations, they don't want that.
Right. Well, remember when we drafted Laken Tomlinson? It was the same thing. He was a doctor. He had other interests, and that was part of it. Is this guy going to be committed to the NFL for the next 10 years, or is he going to get tired of it and want to go pursue other aspects of life? So I can understand that if you're paying a guy like you're going to pay the number 2 overall pick, you want him to be all in all the time, like almost meathead status when it comes to being a football player.
Without question. More on this and Roger Goodell's challenge to the city of Detroit. We'll have it all next. Monty Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Detroit.
Hi, Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hey, Detroit is fast. Chili peppers tanning, another beautiful day in the D. Yeah, go out and get your son. Yeah. It's beautiful out there, huh? Oh, my God. How do we live here, folks? But we're here, right? So why not go to Chili Peppers Tanning right now? It is time to get some vitamin D. The cleanest salons in the D, spotless, sanitized rooms, and trained, certified tanning professionals. The Pepper Club, if you join them, they'll save you $5 over any of the competitors. ChiliPeppersTanning.com. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. Your Vitamin D headquarters, 26 locations, more on the way, one right down the street from us here on Woodward. Check them out at ChiliPeppersTanning.com.
I don't think it's ridiculous for an organization to want a player that eats, sleeps, craps, loves football. I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau has ever been that player, and that is okay. These athletes, these prospects do not have to love football. They can love other things. Other things can be important to them. Nobody's hating on that. However, that type of personality, that type of player isn't a fit for every head coach or every organization. And that appears that is not the case with Dan Campbell. As Albert Breer from Monday Morning Quarterback writes in his mock draft today, quote, one NFL exec said his personality, and you hear the head coach there isn't a fan. His personality is a lot, and you hear the head coach there isn't a fan. We have talked about why Kayvon Thibodeau continues to fall down draft boards. Is it his play? Is it the injuries? Is it his personality? What is it? And I think we're getting a sense now of why he's falling down these boards.
Right.
He doesn't seem to be a guy that is 100% football 100% of the time. That's okay, by the way. I want to make that clear. But not for everybody.
Not for Dan Campbell. Well, I think that's the main part of this. Is you're right. It's okay probably for a Robert Saleh or something like that. But Dan Campbell, who is just call him what he is. He's a meathead.
Right.
He is exactly that, and he wants other meatheads around him. Like he wants that locker room to be just an animal house of dudes, gorillas that are ready. Like Joik used to say, that gorilla. He wants those guys to come out and just go nuts on the field. And I love that about our coach. I really do.
I do as well. And look, Kayvon Thibodeau might turn out to be the best player in the draft.
Perhaps.
We don't know. And you know what? We might even cry about it because we've cried a lot in the last 60 years here in Detroit. Well, you guys that are listening, probably the last 20 years. But you know what I mean. Whoever they take, we're going to have a problem with it. Let's just hope that whoever they take turns out to be the right guy, the right 3 picks, because these next 3-4 picks, they gotta stick on this team. You can't have any more disasters like the past. Now, look, they're 1 for 1 so far on the draft. So what I want and what everyone else wants, it don't matter. They know who they want. I'm just saying, it's awful quiet when they've never brought up the name Malik Willis or any quarterback. This is the first time that you're seeing a quarterback visiting the Lions, and that's Kenny Pickett. And you heard what Tom Pelissero said. They're doing their due diligence. But when you're really quiet about something, it's something sticks out to me. That's all.
Without question. Now, sticking with the NFL, Roger Goodell in town yesterday. There was an NFL draft pre-party, essentially, announcing that the 2024 NFL draft would be here in Detroit. Roger Goodell had a challenge to the fans here.
And just so you know, Nashville hosted it a few years ago and had 600,000 people in those 3 days at the draft. So you have your challenge in front of you, Detroit.
So, in case you had some trouble hearing that, he said that just a couple of years ago, just last year, Nashville had 600,000 people. A couple of years ago.
Yeah, it was a couple of years.
Last year was
Cleveland.
Yeah, that's right.
And they had weather like this.
600,000 people graced the city streets of Nashville, Tennessee, and Detroit's challenge was to have more than that. Because they don't anticipate 600,000 people in Vegas.
They didn't have a big crowd yesterday, did they?
No, I noticed that.
Honestly, but I didn't even find out about it till
it kinda
Monday.
snuck up.
They did not do a good job.
We did a good job here telling everyone about it.
Right.
But
But Corey texted me like earlier in the week, "Hey man, can we get some press passes for the Thursday event?" I'm like, "What Thursday event?"
Poorly planned.
He's like, "Yeah, they're announcing the draft's going to be here." I'm like, "Thursday here?" He's like, "Roger Goodell's going to be." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
They did a very poor job of letting us know that was going to happen.
I told the guys at the Alleys last night, "Hey, we should be downtown at the party." They're like, "What party? What are you talking about?"
Right. Yeah, it was very strange.
I don't think the city of Detroit will have any problem getting more than 600,000 people down there. I mean, if you think of how many people show up for the Thanksgiving Day parade, now they say 1 million people every year, but even if it's half that, okay, even if it's 500,000 that show up to the Thanksgiving parade, that's only people here. You're going to have a ton of football fans from surrounding areas
Chicago,
come here.
Cleveland, Cincy.
I mean, I'd go. I know it was in Cleveland last year, but if I was a single guy that had my weekends to myself,
I would have went.
I totally would have had a guy's trip and gone there and just, wolf down beers and wings.
You know my past. I've been to, 3-4 drafts, NFL and USFL. So, but I lived in New York, and the things were in New York, so it was easy. But there's nothing like it. It's so much fun. And Radio City only held like 3,000 people.
What's it like to be at the draft?
It was awesome. We sit in the upper deck at Radio City. They had it at the Felt Forum one year at Madison Square Garden. It's just great because when the Jets Giants are ready to pick, ESPN is all over you guys, and they send a reporter up there. The most outrageous fan that's who they go to. It's just a lot of fun. It's so exciting that of course you boo the pick.
Right.
Unless you absolutely love the pick, you boo the hell out of it.
And Sheila Hamp did not get booed
She did
yesterday.
not. That's good.
So good job to everybody for growing up a little bit and understanding. But
she dropped Ford out of her name. That's why.
I can guarantee Detroit will put on more than 600,000 people. I will bet Fish's life on that right now that we will have over 600. Because honestly, what's the joke? Hey, the draft is the Lions Super Bowl. We look forward to it, and so essentially the Super Bowl is going to be here in Detroit. 600,000 people. I know our metro has shrunk over the past 10 years, but there's still 3.5 million people in all the surrounding counties. I guarantee 20% of those people will be downtown for this, because this is going to be not only a moment for Detroit to celebrate whatever pick that we have, but a moment for Detroit to put ourselves on the map as like, hey, we need bigger events here. Come back here. We want, the Final Four again. We want all of that back, and we're going to show the world what Detroit's all about.
We're going to get a regional next year. I'm pretty sure we're going to get an NCAA regional next year. Remember when it was at the Palace? How much fun that was? The MSU was there. It was just a great time.
That would have to be at LCA, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, everything downtown.
I would hope. I don't want it at Ford
I know.
Field.
I understand.
I think they only put championships in the big stadiums.
I hope so. I just hate these basketball games and football arenas.
But I got to see Steph Curry play at Davidson at Ford Field. And that's a great memory when he was playing there, and the Final Four was there. And
don't you think it would have been better if they had it at the Palace that year? More intimate, more loud.
It's weird. It is weird, and then they put them on an elevated court and stuff like that. I understand
so far
that,
away.
But they can also sell how many more tickets? LCA only holds like 22,000, 65,000 for Ford Field. So follow the money, man.
You may know better than Alex would certainly know. Probably you would know, Maz. I remember, maybe it was the early 2000s when Michigan State played the regional final at the Palace. Yeah. And I think they played.
That was 2000.
Was it 2000?
Yeah, it's when they won it all.
It was so electric. And I think they played Iowa State in that game for whatever reason. Because there was Marcus Pfizer. Was he in that game?
I forget.
Pfizer?
I think you might be right.
But that arena
was awesome.
Was as loud as you have ever heard it. And that is so cool. I think you missed that in these basketball.
You totally do.
Or excuse me, in these football gyms.
You totally do.
Yeah, and it's weird too when you're playing like the Final Four and like half the gym leaves after the first game, and you know you have like these awkward empty sections, and you're right, you don't get that like just intensity vibe that you want out of those games. But at the same time, they're there to make money.
I know, but you know what? It's better for the guys too, because you know what Michigan State wound up that year in Indy at the RCA Dome, the Hoosier Dome, whatever you wanted to call it. That's where they wound up beating Florida and winning the championship. But that wasn't nearly as exciting as it was at the Palace the week prior.
Without question. So we can hope to have an NCAA regional final next year
the
here
boys
in
at the
our
Detroit
area.
Sports Commission, Marty Doback and Dave Bishaw, they're working their butts off to get it here.
600,000 people downtown. That is the challenge.
Let's go,
in
Detroit!
2024. I think you'll get there. I think you'll get there fairly easily as well. Guys, the USFL, the United States Football League, is starting up tomorrow. There hasn't been a spring football league in the last 30 years that has had a season 2. What will make this league different? I'll tell you exactly why this league will last beyond this year. I'll do that next. Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
Detroit.
At Wingsnob, staying humble's not our forte. We just have better wings. We're back at it again with our crispy golden brown fries and our famous boneless wings. Juicy, tender, hormone-free chicken. Your favorite signature sauces with no bone. Just when you thought Wingsnob couldn't get any better. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wingsnob. We just have better wings.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
I want to tell you about Syntron. Good news, because it was only available at LCA, but now it's open to the public. We've been sipping on this sweet, sweet nectar here at the Woodward Sports Studios for a couple months now, and now you can get it at your local Kroger. And look at this list. This is all the Krogers that is at across the Metro Detroit area. I'm talking about Royal Oak, White Lake, Warren, Sterling Heights, Shelby Township, Saginaw, St. Clair Shores. So pretty much, if there's a Kroger near you, they now have Syntron, and they're running a special right now. 2 cans for just $4. So make sure you get to your local Kroger today. Support local Syntron brand, because they are the official energy drink of the Pistons and the Red Wings and us here at Woodward Sports. So make sure you get that sparkling energy drink today and go to Kroger near you.
And when you're done there, head on over to Big Boy for the Seafood Festival. It is back at Big Boy, including the Friday night seafood buffet. That's tonight. That's right. Goes till April the 24th. Catch it while you can. Fish and chips, fish fry, popcorn shrimp, pike perch, and the new fish sandwich. Available at participating locations. Get to Big Boy.
So another crack at spring football happening tomorrow on Fox and NBC. Fox and NBC are broadcasting the same game. It's going to be Birmingham versus New Jersey. And it's the USFL, the old United States Football League. And it begins tomorrow. So Fox and NBC are partners in this league.
Peacock.
They're going to have the same, they're going to broadcast the same game, but with their own announcers tomorrow. So that's a pretty cool thing. Why is this league going to last beyond this year? Because it's something that no football league has been able to do in the last 30 years.
Is it Shea Patterson?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Is
it Paxton Lynch?
No, it's not. But it is about money, okay? I think the big kind of sticking your nose up at this league right now is because all of the games will be played in Birmingham, Alabama. That is exactly why I believe this will get to a year 2. Because you only have one stadium to turn the lights on for. 2 stadiums in one place. You only have one location to turn the lights on. You only have one place to kind of fill everything about your operation. All your cameras are in one location. You don't have 8 different venues that you need to outfit with cameras. You don't have 8 different venues where you're worried about paying all these different employees.
Travel costs.
Right. Everything like that. Because financial sustainability is the one and the only reason why these leagues have failed, whether it's the AAFL or whatever, the XFL, which is going to get another crack at it with The Rock coming up. I just think that this league is being financially responsible to try to get to year 2. Most of these players are living in one hotel. All of them, all 10 teams, they're living under one roof. I mean, this is not a situation where it's spread all over. And ultimately, that's where it wants to go. But I'm here for it. We love football so much in this country. I do think you can get another league. I do think this has a chance of working. And more often than not, the reason why it has a chance to work is because they're being financially responsible at the start of the league.
Yeah, how do you think it's going to fare against NBA playoffs, though? Because that's interesting. You know, you're starting off against the first week of NBA playoffs, and obviously football and basketball
ratings for
fans.
the NBA are a disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a disaster.
Well, they improved last playoffs.
Yeah, sure.
2 years ago, it was
because
an absolute
so bad.
Yeah, 2 years ago, there was nowhere to go but up, right?
Right.
So that's interesting that you're going to start off head-to-head against an established league. But, yeah, I'm with you, man. Like, I've watched those other leagues. I even watched the Fan Control League that they tried, what was that, last year. Not great football, but you could see something there. And what I like about the USFL is they have guys like Jeff Fisher, which is our head coach.
Come on. Right.
And, you know, that's an established guy that I can look to and be like, all right, this is legit. It's not some dude that failed out of college and they're just trying to give him a job. And no, these are professional coaches who have succeeded at the NFL level. So they're going to coach up these guys to actually be playing a decent game. And as long as the product's okay and the money's behind it, this will last forever.
Listen.
Nice hat.
Thank you.
Look at that hat.
Panthers. Thank you.
Is that a new hat or have you had that?
No,
new
it's
hat.
brand new.
Just got it to us today.
Brand new. 1982, when the league started. You're looking at its number one fan. Hands down. I know everything about that league. This league isn't that league. The only thing this league has that league had are the names and the logos of the teams. And they look great. And it's going to be a nice product to look at. And you know what? They have pros doing these games. You got Kevin Kugler. You got Kurt Menefee. You got a bunch of other guys. Put up those NBC announcers there, Alex, when you get a minute. These guys are going to do it professionally. You have real pros running this league. You got Peacock Network. They need stuff to put on. Remember when ESPN started, you guys weren't born yet. They would put anything on. Bull riding. They would put on Alex's favorite, disc golf.
Now it's on the Ocho.
Yeah, they put anything on. People, you need stuff to watch. There's not a lot of baseball fans out there anymore. There's no more of me out there. I watch baseball every day for the rest of my life. You guys won't. This football league, it can work, and it can work in the spring. Had Donald Trump not tried to infiltrate into the NFL in 1985, this USFL league would have given the NFL a great run for its money, and it would have stayed alive.
Explain that, because I'm not familiar. What the hell did Trump do?
Yeah, there is a documentary about it. If
it's
you
called
watch
Small Potatoes.
Small Potatoes, the 30 for 30 documentary. Now, whether you're a fan of Trump or not,
this has nothing to do with
this is a politic conversation.
This has nothing to do with a political discussion
Nothing.
at all. He basically ruined the league.
He bought the New Jersey Generals from a guy that was running out of money. So he wanted to take the Generals. Once he got them, he's like, here's my ticket to the NFL. He tells the other owners, the other 11 owners, let's go to the fall. They say, no way, Donald. We're staying in the spring. We know where we have to be. And they were having great players from the NFL playing in the USFL. Trump comes in. He wants to get into the NFL. He thinks it's his ticket. What he does is he sues the NFL. Antitrust. Guess what? The USFL won. They beat the NFL in court, and court offered them
$1
for each season.
That's
$2 they got.
$2.
$2.
And
They
I don't
actually
think
proved
that check has actually ever been cashed.
They actually proved the NFL is a monopoly, and they had antitrust against them. Yet they lost, and they suffered, and they never made it to the fall because everything fell apart.
Yep.
And there you have it. Reggie White left Memphis. He goes to the NFL. Steve Young leaves. Go on and on. Jim Kelly.
Herschel Walker.
Brian Sipe. Doug Flutie. Go on and on and on. That league would have made it. This league has nothing to do with that. These are good young players that didn't make it in the pros that have a chance now to show you, hey, we could play football. I was an XFL fan the second time around.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to give this everything I got.
And I think the XFL league second time around,
They did a great
think
job.
that would have lasted if it wasn't for the pandemic. The pandemic shut that league down. Now, again, just before people freak out, the reason why Donald Trump ruined the league has nothing to do with political.
Nothing.
It's because he tried to compete and go up against the NFL.
He wanted to get it being
instead of knowing that league's place is spring football and kind of just leaving it alone with that, and that's just a fact. You can't argue that.
That's a look back. And Jeff Perlman, who we had on about a month ago, wrote a great book
thank you,
on
because
it.
I didn't know that whole story. So thank you for the education,
it's a great league.
Matt, let me ask you about that. You constantly say that this league is not that league. Why?
It's not.
Is it because they don't have that NFL caliber players?
Of course, they don't.
Yeah,
they're not taking players from the NFL.
Because back then, in the early 80s, 82, 83, it was a situation where guys like Herschel Walker, Steve Young, Reggie White, they were choosing to play in the USFL over the NFL.
At the time, the NFL wouldn't let juniors play in the league. USFL says, hey, Hirsch, you want to play?
We'll pay you.
We'll pay you. He's the first guy to break over as a junior. Marcus Dupree, phenomenal running back for Oklahoma. One of the great running backs, got hurt. USFL. You go on and on.
Do you think the USFL takes another playbook out of that and starts letting like freshmen come out of college and play? Because
they might.
There you go, buddy.
And that's how you get those talents. The kids
NIL versus USFL.
Yep.
Let's see who's got more money. Let's see.
That's not a bad thought at all. The only thing about that is I don't know if a network like Fox would want to compete against itself, right? Because they want to make sure their college game is very strong, right? So,
hey, man, everything has changed now.
No doubt.
I mean, the horse is out of the cart. It is over. We don't even know what college football is going to look like.
No,
you have no idea.
We certainly don't. Another part about this league is offense. They are gearing this league towards offense. You can go for 3 if you choose to after a touchdown. So after you score a touchdown, you can go for 1, 2, or 3.
I like that.
You can go for a kick, regular kick. You can go for 2 from the 2, or you could go for 3 from the 12-yard line.
I love that.
So you're never out of the game, right? I mean, you're never out of the game. You could be down 9 points in the fourth quarter. You could be down 18 points in the fourth quarter, and you're really never out of it.
The NFL also took the 2-point play from the USFL. They didn't have it before. USFL had it. They took it. They also took the referee challenges. The USFL used to have those back in the day. They did a lot.
Yeah.
This new league, Fox is going to put a chip in the football.
I love that.
It's going to glow as the ball is going over the goal line. So you're going to tell if there's a touchdown or not right from that.
So
remember the Fox
this
puck
from Mike
for hockey?
Of course, I have one.
So this is from Mike McCarthy. The league will experiment with a football that glows when it reaches the goal line, according to Daryl Johnson. Moose Johnson is the executive vice president of this league, by the way. During game teletests, viewers often can't see the ball under the pile of bodies at the goal line, noted Johnson during a Monday appearance on Fox News. An illuminated ball could help that. I mean, there are, if you look at what the NFL took from the XFL broadcasts originally, they mic'd up players first.
Oh,
the
and the motion cam.
And everything kind of followed. The NFL followed the XFL. I think this league has legs.
Listen, how about the umpires in baseball? Now they are talking to the audience. Who started that? The XFL started that. And the NFL will pick that up.
I love it. Well, I'm looking forward to some more football. I can't get enough football.
Give it a shot.
And I'm already, missing football, I know the draft is coming up, but I just want to see people hitting each other.
I want them to trim the season down. I want them to streamline it a little bit. I think they're playing, and don't ask me how many games, but whatever games they're playing, I think they're playing too many.
Who? The USFL.
Whatever games they're playing.
It's a 10-week league.
It is. It's 10 weeks. Okay, I can do that.
It's a 10-week league with the 2-week playoff.
Okay, so 12 weeks.
So 12 total weeks, start to finish.
April, May, June. Okay.
That's it.
All right.
Get you to July 4th.
I dig it.
Right? I mean,
I went to the final USFL championship game at Giant Stadium. The Oakland Invaders and the Baltimore Stars. Stars won that game in a rainy Meadowlands.
Hey, I invite you to give us a call if you want to talk about this USFL league. Will you watch? I'm curious to hear from everybody out there. Will you watch this USFL league? 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. Also, the news about Albert Breer on Kayvon Thibodeau. Does not believe Kayvon Thibodeau is a personality fit with Dan Campbell. That's what one exec told him. Kayvon Thibodeau will not be a Detroit Lion selected at number 2 based on the personality clash between Thibodeau and Campbell. What do you make of that? 313-552-6322. If you want to get in, give us a call. Armani and Edwards, Bottom Line, Woodward Sports Network. Detroit.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, gang! I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. They're your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. You see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? Tells the bad guys one thing. Stay out. That's right. Guardian Alarm, a good defense for your home or your business. All with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm has convenient features that let you check in on your home or your business, control your lights, your temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call that number at the top of my head right now, 1-800-STAY-OUT. 1-800-STAY out. Stay out. Guardian Alarm, your local security expert.
All right.
Talking a little USFL.
The United States Football League.
They kick off their season tomorrow. Will you give this league a chance?
Generals and Stallions tomorrow.
Tomorrow on Fox.
Sunday, you got the Panthers on national TV.
That is on, the Panthers are on Peacock, right? Yeah.
That's national TV.
I hate that Peacock. I don't.
Why?
I just
it's
like
taking the place of NBC Sports Network.
I know. I just like my cable. So just give me channel 2,
just
channel
say
4,
Peacock
channel
in
7.
your voice thing.
I know, but it's just one extra step.
All right, fine.
I want to see it on the guide. If it's not on the guide, I don't.
I got you.
Let's go to the phone lines now. If you want to get in, again, 313-552-6322. Just curious to see if you're going to give this league a chance. Elijah, first up here. How you doing, Elijah? Thanks for the call, my friend. Welcome to Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
What's up, Elijah?
Thank you. What's up? Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with this USFL. Hopefully they're better than the Lions and win a championship for it real quick.
That'd be the most Lions thing ever, too.
I mean, that's one of the things to be disappointed about, right? Is that that at least for year 1 and hopefully in year 2 of this league, they'll come home and play here somewhere. But it's that. Do you really feel like Michigan will win the championship, the Michigan Panthers, if the games are all played in Birmingham, Alabama?
I mean, we got a head coach that used to be an NFL head coach, so hopefully he can, get us going. It'd just be good to see some football, too. I feel like the NFL season just take forever.
Without question. Hey, Elijah, do you like the Woodward Sports Network? You having fun with it?
Oh, I love it. Love it. It's the best thing ever, man.
Thanks, Elijah.
Love it.
Appreciate it, man.
Spread the word,
Elijah.
Man.
Spread the word. That's right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Man.
313-552-6322. 313-552-6322.
Listen, they got great announcers, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, the USFL had Keith Jackson doing their games. This year, you got Kevin Kugler. He's one of the best in the game, man. Hey, at least they're putting their money where their mouth is. The stations of the league, they own the league.
They're putting out a good product.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
What's up, Sam?
I have to play a very quick devil's advocate because this might be really bad football. The first pick, Shea Patterson, who Ryan, you and I are very familiar with as Michigan fans. Number 3 pick, Brian Scott from the great Occidental College. Number 4 pick, Ben Holmes from the even more heralded Tarleton State. It could be a really bad product, and that's what kind of worries me. I don't know if I'm going to tune in or not.
But think about Paxton Lynch got drafted, right? And he played in the NFL as little as 2 years ago, and he was like the last quarterback taken. So there is some talent there left over.
He's probably the worst first-round quarterback in NFL history.
But he was a first-round quarterback.
Again, first.
And have you heard of Ryan Leaf?
So
there's a guy named Ryan Leaf.
So one of the things about this league is quarterbacks were first-round selections. So they just, each team got to pick their quarterback that they wanted. Quarterback play, Sam, to your point, is the most important part of this league.
Of course.
If the quarterbacks suck, and I'm saying collectively, nobody's going to watch this league.
But they're going to all suck. They're all the same level, so you don't know how bad they suck.
They all suck equally,
you
so I'm behind it.
If they all suck and they're making completions because that guy couldn't cover them,
look,
I'm okay with it.
No, but I think the football watcher's eye is trained to at least a big-time college level, right? Like a Power 5 conference level quarterback.
All right, would you compare this to maybe watching an Ivy League football game? Can you watch an Ivy League football game? I have.
I can't say that I have.
I've watched
recently.
Harvard, Yale, Cornell, the Big Red.
Listen, I'll go watch the Walled Lake Braves Little League football if I have to. I watch football.
Okay, good. So this league's for you, Stick.
This league is for me, and I'm going to give it an ample opportunity to impress me. And really, to me, it's not really about the quarterback play. It's about the hits. It's about the passion. It's about the intensity. And if this league has that, good. But if this starts to look like a Pro Bowl and people are just arm tackling, running up and hugging and taking people to the ground, then it's going to fail. Football needs violence. This sport needs violence.
Now listen, the practice squads in the NFL, maybe these guys eventually will have real money to spend, this USFL. Maybe some of these practice squad guys, guys on the edge of making an NFL team, will just say, to hell with it. I'll go play at the USFL. And it could get better every year. It's got to get by the first year.
See, but that's how it succeeds, right? You just get by the first year because there's so many guys. Look at our friend Tawan Jones. All right, Tawan Jones is a great example of this league. He's 28 years old? Yep. Just opened up a business.
He has a gym.
He's got a gym, doing very well in that gym right now in his own business.
He got drafted.
He got drafted by the Michigan Panthers and was considering going to play. But then you're like, okay, I'm 28. Why am I really going to play? Am I gonna go play for 12 weeks and then my business suffers?
Right.
So what you have to do is you have to get beyond that first year so that you do have maybe practice squad players, or you have enough money where people on the fringe, make a decision whether you open that up to college freshmen or something like that, like your idea, Stick.
I like that, by the way.
That's the move if you want to steal
like
premier talent.
It's like a G League.
That's how you continue to remain competitive, because you could essentially play spring ball. There is going to be a player, multiple players probably, that go from this league that will end at the end of June straight to an NFL training camp and get a look. And it's only going to be because of the success that they had in this league.
And the minute that happened once and they become successful in the NFL, as you know, everything's a copycat. So the minute they can prove the product in that way, like, hey, we're a feeder to the NFL, that's when this league is really going to take off, because that's when you'll get those players who maybe can't academically make it. Instead of going to JUCO, now they're going to the USFL because they couldn't get into Michigan because they couldn't get their ACTs right.
Here's the kicker. When the XFL comes back next season, and The Rock is one of the owners, so it's going to try
You're going to have competition there.
It's a lot of competition. That's what worries me. When the first original USFL made it, it was because the NFL went on strike at that time.
Yep.
They couldn't have started at a better time. And you know what? When the NFL was struggling, when baseball was struggling with the maybe not playing and all of that, that's when a league can be born.
Right.
This one is going to be a little harder. No question.
Stick, you said something that I didn't consider, and I hope you're absolutely right about this. I hope this league hits, and I hope this league doesn't penalize big hits.
Right.
Because you do need some sort of visual. If you're not going to have the greatest quarterback play out there, you do have to have something that you can hang your hat on.
And what's the biggest complaint everybody has right now about the NFL?
Soft.
Oh, they're soft. They've taken over the, you can't hit the wide receiver when they go over the middle. What's pass interference? What isn't? If they can clean all that up and really hone it in and make it a violent, physical game, but safe. Safety for the players, obviously. We're always got to worry about safety, but these are grown-ass men making grown-ass decisions. So if you go out there anticipating getting hit, you're going to get hit. So, yeah, to me, that's going to be the biggest factor in all of this. If they can take what's the weak part of the NFL and turn that into their strength right now. Because the NFL purists, that's what you hear about I can't even watch this anymore. What? Roughing the passer? He just touched him. And if they get rid of all that BS, it'll be a fun league.
313-552-6322 if you want to get in. Anything you want to hit on. USFL. Albert Breer's, easy for you to say. Albert Breer's report that Kayvon Thibodeau will not be selected by the Detroit Lions at 2 because of a personality clash with head coach Dan Campbell. We'll do that. I do want to get to this Baker Mayfield story.
Yes.
Because he was on this, what's that podcast called? You Never Know?
You Never Know.
You Never Know podcast. That's a great name for a podcast. You Never Know podcast. But he said a couple of things in that podcast that I just think is fantastic. For some reason, I'm becoming a Baker Mayfield fan. And
don't do it, Ryan. Don't do it.
I'm a fan.
There's something about him where I'm turning the tide
you
on
look like
Baker
a bobblehead
Mayfield.
in there.
He tried to plant a flag in turf.
Baker Mayfield next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports. Come on, Maz.
Detroit.
There it is.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Sticker Genius is the official sticker partner of Woodward Sports. When it comes to stickers and signage, think Sticker Genius. Sticker Genius put all of this beautiful wall covering in the entire Woodward Sports studio full of Planet Fitness and Woodward Sports signage in under 24 hours. If you go to their website, stickergenius.com, you'll see that they do wall graphics, window graphics, vehicle graphics, and custom stickers. So if you want Sticker Genius to do something like that for you, visit stickergenius.com and see what they can provide for you.
Stick it.
Yeah, they did a great job on this studio, and they did it so quick. That was amazing. If you're looking to go out this weekend, have a good time, there is a partner that you need to have with you, and that is Gypsy Vodka. It's so good.
Gypsy!
You chill this vodka, and I'm telling you, it is some of the smoothest you have ever tasted in your life. And I'm not a vodka guy, but Gypsy may convert me to it. So if you're out this weekend, if you're shopping, make sure you ask for it by name. If you're at your local watering hole, make sure you demand they order Gypsy Vodka. If they don't have it, it will change the way you drink this weekend because it's so good, so tasty. 50 formulas they went through. 50!
You kidding me?
50.
Yeah, because 51 would have been too much. 49 was not enough. They nailed it right at 50, and they came out with this beautiful, beautiful.
Toledo.
And the guys are from Michigan. They went to high school with Joey. They're right at Brother Rice High
Joey,
School.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Joey went to Brother Rice?
Joey went to Rice, yeah.
Holy Toledo.
Yeah, so
shout out to the B-Man. My man Brian works at Brother Rice.
And if you're ever up in Petoskey, they have their own bar up there, the High Five Spirits. So make sure you check them out. Gypsy Vodka, they're proud supporters of the Woodward Sports Network, and we love them back.
It's fantastic
50.
stuff. Maz, how's your tampering story going?
It's good. You know, I want to set everyone up. You know, I do a rundown. I can't really explain it to you. I put lots of stories up. I do lots of research. I put links to the stories. It's like 3 pages long.
Real good.
All for us not to read.
This is what I do every day. I send it out to these guys.
No, it's real good.
And I go to Ryan today. He's like, hey, let's just have some fun today. Just follow me. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, hey, we should probably hit this Brady story before the day's up. He's like, what are you talking about? What Brady story? I'm like, it's, you know, the Brady tampering story. You know, the Dolphins and Stephen Ross, and they might have had tampering.
What about it?
So I tell Ryan, and he's like, where is it? I don't see it. Oh. He said, oh, there it is. So I do all this work. The guy doesn't even look at what the hell I do.
No, that's not fair.
It's fair.
It's not fair. Here's the deal, okay? As somebody who's sitting up here yapping his gums, I feel like I got to be passionate about the topic for me to discuss the topic. If I'm not passionate about it, it's a dud of a topic.
But why not be passionate about Brady being involved in another scandal?
You lead the topic for me and tell me if I'm passionate.
It's just because you hate Tom Brady.
But
like that's all this is about.
What
Man
I'm saying
hates
is,
Brady.
like, who
They
cares?
would have to get all his records again on his phone. But guess what? He probably destroyed his phone
Like
again.
nobody nobody cares. Did he try to maneuver?
Listen to me. This is the story, folks, in case you missed it, and we hit it about a month ago. Stephen Ross invited Tom Brady to his yacht and Brian Flores to his yacht. As Brian Flores was walking over, he decides, I better not go over there because that'll be tampering. So Brian Flores turns around. They blow the meeting up. The meeting was supposed to be that Tom Brady was going to retire from the Buccaneers and then later come out and become an executive with the Dolphins and hire Sean Payton as the head coach and then force the Buccaneers to give up his player rights. So then Brady would become the starting quarterback of the Dolphins. But it all went awry.
Why would Brian Flores want to be in on that meeting?
When Brian Flores sued everybody.
But how did that go awry? Bill Belichick. So Bill Belichick out here playing chess.
Correct.
Because he knew that was going to happen, and he
Whoa.
blew up that whole situation.
You just blew my friggin' mind.
Yeah. See? Not Brian Daboll. Oh, this isn't Brian Daboll? Oh, I thought this was Brian Daboll.
I accidentally sent a text congratulating you.
Why would Brian Flores want to go to a meeting with Tom Brady in which Tom Brady's plan is to hire Sean Payton?
He didn't know that. He just thought, Stephen Ross says, you're my head coach. I need you at this meeting. I'm going to have Brady. We're going to trade for Brady is the way he spun it. That's the way he spun it to Flores.
Here's why
So Stephen Ross tampered.
Yeah. Here's why.
And told his coach to throw games. And we're not even hearing about it.
Here's why I don't care about this story. Because nobody else cares about it either. That's why you're not hearing about it. Because nobody else cares about it either. If you think that this stuff doesn't happen weekly,
bro,
in the
that's
NFL,
a soap opera right there, what we just told you.
The whole thing is a soap opera.
Fake retire, come over, be an executive that makes all the decisions, even over the general manager, and then say, I'm going to play. Hey, Tampa Bay, I demand you to trade my player rights over here.
And Bill Belichick sitting there in his hoodie like, nah, we're going to blow this up.
That is a great story.
Why do you hate Tom Brady so much?
I don't hate him anymore.
Maz hates greatness.
I don't know. I do not hate greatness.
Let me ask you, Stick. Do you
I
care
love
about
Derek
this
Jeter.
story? Like, are you passionate about this story?
I'm not passionate about it. I think it's a funny story. Like I think the series of events is funny, and then when you push it even further to go to Belichick doing what he did, I think that's the story. The Belichick part's the story to me.
This is an aside. This story.
Whatever.
This is an aside.
Whatever. How about read the damn prep next time?
Am I going to lead the top of hour number 2
Read the
with
prep.
a story that I don't care about regarding Tom Brady?
I've been having Baker Mayfield in here since Tuesday. Can you get to...
Well, you got a microphone in that booth, too. Don't worry about it.
There's a graphic that you guys had me made last week
Get on the mic.
for the open. Is it open?
It's on.
It's open. You ain't on it, though.
He's on it.
I'm on, okay. Can you hear me, Ryan?
Now
That's better,
there you
yes.
go. Look at that.
Eat the mic.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Pause.
Eat the mic. Okay, thanks, Maz.
That's a good sound.
There's this graphic I've had made since last week, Thursday, that it's been in the prep sheet every day this week.
Can I see the friggin' graphic?
Sure. Yeah,
What's
here
the
it is.
graphic? Let me see the graphic.
Hang on, let me find it.
I want
Okay,
to
here
see
it is.
the graphic.
Stick will love
the
this.
real goat?
Oh!
Stick, you will love that topic.
That's an easy topic.
It's a great topic.
Bo Jackson.
Look, here's the thing about this topic.
Sam, leave. If you don't think it's Bo Jackson, just leave now.
Get the hell out,
Who
Sam.
is the...
Stay out.
Wait a minute. Let me get a hold of this here. Here's the graphic. Who is the real GOAT? Which athlete was the best at their sport? No offense, Bo Jackson don't even belong on the list.
Oh!
That's what I was saying.
He
He's
don't
not even in the Hall of Fame in any
belong
sport.
on the list. Neither does Deion Sanders
Listen,
belong on the
I
list.
put this out for Tiger Woods last week, but we didn't get to it because we were at opening day, and it was loud, and we didn't get a chance to get to it.
It was
I
loud.
did it for Tiger Woods because, to me, he is the greatest above Michael Jordan, above all of them, at his sport.
And you're right. Bo Jackson isn't the best at his sport. He's the best at every sport.
Yes, he's a
That's
great,
what Bo Jackson was great at.
athlete.
He was the best baseball player when he was playing. He was the best football player when he was playing. Track.
And not only that, but the
Golf.
topic we were originally going to do is there a player in the history of sports that has meant more to his sport than Tiger Woods has meant to golf?
That's well done, Ryan.
And the answer is no.
Yeah, you're right there.
There is no other player in any other sport in the history of sports that has meant as much to his sport as Tiger Woods has meant to golf.
I will say this, though. It is the 75-year of Jackie Robinson getting in the league.
I understand that.
Significant.
Well,
very
that
significant.
man had to go through.
Today is Jackie Robinson Day.
Yep.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is golf wasn't even on anybody's radar.
Especially young people.
Right. So that's a little different take to what you're saying, because baseball was still huge. Babe Ruth made baseball huge. Baseball was America's pastime. And I'm not trying to minimize Jackie Robinson, especially on the 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson Day. But what I'm saying is baseball was America's pastime. Golf was not on anybody's mainstream radar ever until 1997.
Tiger made golf cool. He made golf cool. I was in high school at that time, and when he burst on the scene, it was insane to watch this kid just come over and take over the league. And you're right, it was almost a Happy Gilmore effect, right? Like these golf outings would happen, you'd see people trickling around, walking. But when Tiger plays, it is a sold-out event, and he put it on so many different people's radar. Not only young people, but also different races as well, because he represents something that nobody had really seen on the golf course till that point.
I left the guy out, and I'm embarrassed. How do I leave Wayne Gretzky off that sheet?
He was on there.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
He was on there.
But again,
thank you.
But
Gretzky didn't
hockey
salvage
had
the
Gordie
sport.
Howe.
Right.
You know, I mean,
I know, but it's Gretzky.
Gretzky is the greatest player to ever play hockey.
Correct.
But again, hockey was, hockey was hockey. I mean,
hockey wasn't even on your radar without Gretzky.
Gretzky was.
That's a fact.
Gretzky didn't really make hockey all that big either, though.
Excuse me. Gretzky put hockey on the West Coast.
He put okay.
Excuse me. He made the South team. Don't even talk hockey. Shut your mic off.
Whoa.
Listen to me.
Don't talk hockey.
I'm kind of with Armani on this.
Don't talk
hockey. Listen to me. Nobody still cares about hockey on the West Coast.
Shut your mic off.
No,
they hardly care on the
They
East
do
Coast.
not care about hockey on the West Coast.
They do care.
They don't care. Let me tell you something. They don't care about hockey in L.A.
Or in Florida.
They thought it was cool to go to the games for a little while. Those celebrities thought it was cool.
Have you been to Vegas?
That's different. That's Vegas.
No.
Vegas is like its own country.
In a
Vegas
lovely
is
country
like its own country.
where prostitution's legal.
Everything's legal in Vegas. Vegas is like its own country.
Wayne Gretzky made hockey what it is today. Without him, it's not on TBS, ESPN, none of that anymore. It's a regional sport that's on USA Network.
How many games did Wayne Gretzky play on ESPN?
I don't know.
I don't think ESPN had hockey when Wayne Gretzky played.
Of course they did.
Did they?
Yes.
What's hockey?
Maybe at the tail end.
I quit.
A lot of people are putting the Williams sisters on there. I'm sorry. Tennis was huge before the Williams sisters.
John McEnroe.
Tennis was a big sport. I mean,
yeah, Andre Agassi growing up. I mean, that was the
I
whole
love
Pete
tennis.
Sampras.
I still love tennis.
Yeah.
Tennis is a fun sport to watch.
It's phenomenal.
Fight me.
The Williams sisters
You
were
just
great.
shut off your mic,
I love King
Armani.
Richard. Great movie, by the way.
Good. King Richard.
King Richard. Congratulations,
It
Will
slaps.
Smith.
Maybe you can slap Bass when you're out. You ever
You
come
hockey.
to Detroit?
Keep
Keep hockey out your mouth.
Dude, let me tell you.
Ryan, you ought to be ashamed of
Yeah,
yourself.
you ought to be ashamed of
No,
yourself
you
for
oughta.
saying that people in L.A. like hockey.
Oh, you are the worst.
You are the worst.
People in
Maz.
LA don't like anything but themselves.
I'm
Frickin'
coming
Maz.
on. I'm coming on the 9. I'm gonna undress you on the 9.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Please. I hope you do.
Gross.
You want me to do the Baker Mayfield next?
Oh,
Maz?
I love Baker.
All right,
I want Baker here.
We got to get through Alex's graphics.
Malik over Baker? I don't know.
Armani
Baker over
Edwards.
Malik?
Bottom line, Woodward Sports Network is Detroit.
Don't go away, folks. Please.
Don't go away, please.
Please.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You asked for it and we listened. The Seafood Festival is back at Big Boy, including a Friday night seafood buffet. Catch it while you can, available at participating locations until April 24th. Also available, the new fish sandwich. We'll see you at Big Boy.
See you at Big Boy. Hey, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag, where I put my sports wagering in. You should too. Matter of fact, hey, Mets today. Who are the Mets playing here, Ryan, today?
They are playing the Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks. What's the score of that game? You got a score for me?
It's 5-1.
5-1 Mets?
Yeah.
Nice. I love the Mets today. I love them. Chris Bassett was on the hill. I got a couple of bucks on him. Not really. I wanted to, but I should have. And I would have used the promo code Woodward if I was a first-time gambler as well, because they'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet baseball, football, even hockey. They'll take all your bets,
Don't
all
bet
your
the Kings,
action,
though.
and it's easy. On your own phone, all you got to do is put it on your home screen, touch the button, and you are into MyBookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. If you have a gambling problem, please use the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hey, gang! Want to talk to you about Wingsnob. Fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken. Wingsnob has the best traditional wings. Try out those signature sauces, Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. Wings are tossed to perfection in any sauce you pick. When the wings are this good, you're allowed to be a snob. Order online or find a location near you.
Find them.
Wingsnob.com. Wingsnob.com. We just have better wings. You never know. You never know. That's the name of the podcast that Baker Mayfield was on. I feel like some of these podcasts where they just hold microphones laying on couches, that's phenomenal stuff.
When you get someone relaxed and comfortable, they're going to say more than, if you feel like they're in an uptight interview and they got to be strictly, because a lot of these guys are media trained, you know that. And then when you get them in like kind of just a relaxed atmosphere, they're going to spill some more tea than they normally do.
I feel like I saw Kevin Durant do a similar podcast recently where he's just sitting on the couch with a
Look at Aaron Rodgers, what he does with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Sits at home and chills out.
That's what it is. So Baker Mayfield on this podcast says the Browns duped him. Here's do we have I'm sorry, my sheet cut off here. Do we have sound of this? Yeah.
We got about a minute and 15 seconds.
This is what I
so.
want. It's cut off on my sheet.
He kind of undresses the Browns and say, hey, they lied to me.
Right now is like, I really, truly, honestly have no regrets of my time in Cleveland, of what I tried to give to that place.
Right.
And true Clevelanders and true Browns fans know that. And that's why I can walk away from the whole situation feeling like I did it.
And now, do you feel like the way the office has handled it has been disrespectful to you, given where you came in and where they are now? And
I mean, yeah, the respect thing is like it's all going to be like a personal opinion.
Yeah,
like,
and
I feel disrespected 100% because I was told one thing and they completed another. That's what I'm in the middle of right now. And you know what? Okay, I got my taste of it because I've had 4 different head coaches in 4 years, a bunch of different coordinators. I've had talk about the highs. They always come back. They always come back. But like, I mean, I had great times my rookie year. Like I didn't start in the beginning. I came in and got to have fun the back half of the year. 2019 sucked. 2020 was great. Made the playoffs. 2021 was miserable. It's like, I'm just looking for stabilization right now. And like, I know what I need to do for me to be the best version of me and to be able to lead an organization. And like, I'm in a good place right now.
Right.
To where like, I have no clue where I'm going.
That's the one thing. I do hate it when people say I feel disrespected by the organization. What do you mean you feel disrespected by the organization? Right. I mean, come on. This is a business, right? And as Dan Orlovsky said, our good friend said, this is the first time Baker Mayfield saw that business side of it. It just happened to him.
Look at our guy Braylon. Braylon's felt the same way that he did with the Browns. He got lucky enough to get the hell out of there and got to the Jets at the right time.
Right.
Made 2 FC championship games. He had 4 freaking coaches, man. That's
something?
That's gross.
Tough. That is really tough to succeed. And it's no different than
idiots.
Braylon played with like 12 different quarterbacks.
It's disgraceful.
You can't succeed that way.
Well, and now that we've come to find out, Braylon played with the Browns under the era that they were telling their head coach to lose.
Yeah.
And you remember when that news broke in the back, and like we were just having a conversation amongst us, like, man, how crazy is that? And like Braylon kind of stormed out of the room and was like, yeah, how crazy is it that I was on the team and they didn't even let us know.
Yeah.
And you don't even think about that as the players were in the blind and they didn't know. Like us as fans, it's one thing, right? But imagine that is your career, that is your livelihood, and you don't know you're getting plotted against by your own management. Like that had to have been such a stab in the back to Braylon.
So I don't blame Baker.
No, I don't blame him either. And look,
the guy played. He played very, very hurt this year. Very hurt.
Where you go, and not what number pick you are, the actual location, the actual organization where you go as a player is the number one thing that almost everybody's got talent. It's almost the number one thing that determines whether you're going to have success or not. Are you going to a stable organization? Are you going to an organization that is going to put you in a position to succeed? Now, there was some success in Cleveland. They won a friggin' playoff game. They won a road playoff game. They did essentially what would be the equivalent of the Lions going on the road and winning at Lambeau in Green Bay in a playoff game.
And they did it without Stefanski, their head coach, too.
And if the Lions did that, we would freak out here. But at the end of the day, they chose to go down a different road. There was a quarterback that is a generational talent in Deshaun Watson that was out there, and the Browns organization chose to try to go get that guy, and they ultimately landed him. I have no problem with the Browns did either. And it's not incumbent upon the Browns to go tell Baker Mayfield every little thing that they want to do with their organization.
Well, it's actually detrimental to do that because you don't want to tell the guy, hey, you're on your way out. He's a lame duck quarterback. Now he's not putting in the effort in the weight room. Now he's not putting in the effort in practice. And then what happens? You don't get Deshaun Watson. It all blows up, and he's now got to be your guy, and now it's just a very awkward situation.
Right? Well, it looks like they got all their ducks in a row now. Kevin Stefanski's looks like a fine coach.
Yeah.
All right, they look like they are loaded for bear, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the AFC is, I've never seen a league that loaded. This league, the Super Bowl champion has to come from the AFC this year. The NFC usually steals it towards the end of the year. They just do something that steals it. Maybe these teams all knock the hell out of each other.
Because you basically have to win one game.
You do. But the Colts even got better, signing Stephen Gilmore now.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not out of a Super Bowl run. Anybody could win in this AFC, and the Browns included. But now Baker Mayfield says, hey, maybe the best spot for me might be the Seattle Seahawks. But do you think they're ready to get Baker, or do you think they want to start from scratch?
See, I don't know, because if they had a new head coach, I would say go ahead and restart. But because their head coach is, 73 years old?
He is the youngest looking coach in the league.
I mean, he doesn't want to rebuild. He wants a quarterback that he thinks he can compete with.
Right. That's not what Braylon always says. Braylon said Pete Carroll wants the young guys. He wants the young quarterback.
Baker Mayfield's not that old.
No, he's not.
He's a mid-20s guy.
You're right. Hey, I'm willing to give him a chance here, so whatever.
You take him over Goff?
I would.
Like if it was a straight-up trade, right?
If it was a straight-up,
absolutely,
I would. One for one. Forget about contracts. I would take Baker Mayfield over Jared Goff.
In a minute.
Okay. I'm not that sold on Baker Mayfield.
I know Adam's going to be storming in here if you heard this.
People hate the guy, and I understand that. But if you're telling me one for one, I
and you
take
said
Baker.
it, man. He's been humbled.
He has been.
He's been humbled.
This is funny, too. So we're going to play this clip for you. He said something about something he'd like to do to you. We don't have that audio clip? I thought it was a clip.
We have it.
Yeah. Oh, it's just this.
He said,
I gave you the audio
he said,
too,
I'd
bro.
love to show up at somebody's cubicle and just boo the S out of them and watch them crumble. And I do think about that often. Like, what other line of work? Imagine if you went to McDonald's and you just start booing the fry maker. Like, nowhere else in society is it okay for you to just show up and boo people. But on the NFL, on any playing court, it's cool. Imagine if some people were behind Maz right now just booing you while we're trying to do a show.
Half the people on YouTube want to do it.
They do
led
it all
by
the time.
YT Sparty.
Then we need to invite them all and have them all behind you one show.
There's a Seinfeld episode where Seinfeld gets booed by this woman, Toby, at his show. Kramer takes this date to Jerry's show, and she don't like him. She starts, boo!
Jerry.
He gets so pissed. What's he do? He goes to her office at her cubicle and starts booing the hell out of her. She gets so upset, she runs out of the building into Midtown Manhattan and gets her toe run over by a taxi cab. Jeez. And, of course, it severs the pinky toe. And Kramer picks the toe up, puts it in ice. Pinky toe. Anyway, Seinfeld. I rest my case.
I would think that, players would like it if they go and get booed at opposing stadiums, but you don't want to get booed by your own fans at your own stadium.
Yeah.
Is that kind of,
And nobody wants to get booed. Nobody wants to get booed.
Roger Goodell says he likes it, though.
But Baker Mayfield...
Yesterday he said, I feel at home. Bring the booze on.
Yeah, well, Roger Goodell embraces it, and we talked about that. Like, it's almost like if you don't boo him, you're disrespecting him at this point, because that's how you greet Roger Goodell.
Nobody gets more booed than Gary Bettman, though.
Well, he's earned every bit of that. Yes. Every single bit of that. Bettman, you're awful.
Hey, did you guys see what Tom Brady tweeted to Elon Musk?
Yes.
We'll talk about that next. Elon Musk trying for the takeover.
How much does he offer?
$43 billion.
Do you know what you could buy with $43 billion?
What?
Wait till you see when we come back.
Look at that. Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network.
It's all Detroit here.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency is here, and they're willing to help. And if you're struggling with any type of addiction, that is the place that you need to go. You can go to sportsma.com right now and check out their new podcast. It's called This Is the F Word, and it deals with fentanyl and addiction, which, we talked about a little bit yesterday. I think I've had experience in my life with people that have dealt with addiction and tragically have lost their lives, and it's touched a lot of people, especially in this Metro Detroit area for some reason as well. So if you know anybody that needs help or just needs a nudge in the right direction, because you can't fix somebody that doesn't want the help, but you can nudge them in the right direction, and that's where the sports marketing agency comes in. So thank you to Sean Jordan, NFL alumni, and all the guys you see up there, Braylon Edwards, Lomas Brown, Devin Gardner, Michael Eli. They're just doing a great job spreading the word. So go to thesportsma.com right now and check them out.
Fascinated with this Elon Musk story.
Why does he want Twitter?
Offers to buy Twitter for $43 billion. What else could you buy for $43 billion?
Everything?
That is the question. Tom Mazaway?
Check it out. Put it up there, Alex.
So for $43 billion, it's roughly the same amount that you could buy the 10 most valuable NFL teams, the 12 most valuable NBA teams, the 15 most valuable MLB teams,
including the Yankees.
And then this is the greatest. Every NHL franchise.
Every.
And then every MLS franchise.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that is great.
You want to hear the most disgusting part about that? If he spends $43 billion, he will only be worth $230 billion afterwards.
That's unreal.
He's got
$273.6 billion.
$265 billion or something like that.
273.6.
Is he the richest man on earth?
Yes. Yeah, he makes.
It used to be the Rockefellers back in the day. Where are the Rockefellers?
Oh, they're
these days?
peasants. They only make about $100 billion.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, they're poor.
I mean, Bill Gates only has $166 billion.
Well, he gave half to his wife.
Well, it's Bezos. Bezos is $181 billion right now.
His is going up because he's got the NFL on his mind.
And he's got Amazon too.
Yeah, well, Amazon's going to show the NFL.
Right.
He's in bed with the NFL going forward.
Yeah, but Bill Gates, $132 billion with
when
a
you
B.
think about that,
Elon Musk.
Which team, if you could buy any team in any sport, It'd be the Yankees for you?
Of course.
I got to go with the Detroit team. I don't care which one. Probably the Lions.
Get the Lions.
Yeah, I would love the Lions.
I'd buy the Lions.
Would you? I would love to own the Pistons too, though. I really would. Like
Yeah.
Bill Davidson did such a good job when he was the owner. Like introducing the private jet and stuff like that. Like to me, the
Round
Pistons.
ball one.
Yeah, and I just love basketball. So
I'll take the Knicks too. Can you give me the Knicks?
The Knicks would be
I
good.
got to put
What
the
would-
Knicks
what-
on the map.
What would you do with the Knicks if you own the Knicks?
I'm starting from scratch. I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to hire my favorite Knicks from the old days to help me, and I'm just going to start from scratch.
they tried that with Phil Jackson. That didn't work.
Phil Jackson was a turd. They let him live on L.A. and freaking beat a GM here. I mean, what a disaster.
You can't live in Los Angeles and work
can't.
for the Knicks.
That's what he did. And he's sleeping with Jeannie Buss of the Lakers.
Sugar Mama.
It's terrible.
I mean, I
Only the Knicks would hire a Lakers guy that's sleeping with the Lakers owner.
The Zen Master, baby. He's got life figured out.
I do often think about that. Like if you, not often, but it's crossed my mind. Like if you could ever buy a franchise in sports, obviously for me it would probably be the Lions. And then what would you do? What would be the first thing you did as owner of the Lions?
I'd bring in Bill Parcells so him and me can sit down and talk every single day.
See, I feel like that's so old. I don't think Bill Parcells would resonate with today's game.
I don't care. I just want to sit with him.
I often think of who that first call would be to if you own the Lions. Sometimes the name that always pops in my head is Louis Riddick.
Really?
Okay.
I feel like I would call Louis Riddick first.
How about Mel Kiper?
Or Dan Orlovsky.
I like Dano.
I'd get Louis Riddick
I like Dano.
and Dan Orlovsky
I like
in a
Lou, too.
room,
Lou.
and I'd say, tell me what to do. What should I do next? What would be your advice? What would be the first thing I should do as Lions owner? Who should I go talk to? Who's going to be my president? And I wouldn't hire either of them, but I would have them tell me who to call.
I would
Give
probably.
me some background.
That's good.
I'd probably call Robert Kraft and be like, "Hey, man, let's go get some massages and talk this out. Like, I want to know what you did, how you've built this
Just
franchise."
pick the massage place, all right? Don't let him pick the massage place.
No, I'm definitely letting him pick the
Oh, you
massage. We
are?
want that VIP service,
Oh,
baby.
boy.
We got tension to release. But no, like honestly, all jokes aside, the Patriots are the blueprint, right? They are what every franchise wants to be, aspires to be, and really they've carried on this for how long now? And even when they lost Tom Brady, they bounced back with a new guy last year.
However, they have not won a playoff game in 3 years.
Okay.
And they're pissed about it.
Robert Kraft is getting a little restless about it.
Isn't that great?
I am curious to see, and it does not look. The New England Patriots have gotten rid of all their good players this year too. I mean, Stephon Gilmore just signed with the Colts today. How do you let that guy go?
Because it's a system. Like, that's the best part about them. They let people go all the time, and it doesn't really hurt them, which is amazing to me because it's just next guy up mentality there.
Hey, Marcus Ellis on YouTube.
Yep.
Excellent point here, by the way. Maz, that guy is already in the fold. His name? Well, number 54.
You
That's
call
Chris
him right
Spielman.
away, right?
Spielman's on my
Yeah.
committee. There's not a question about it.
Yeah.
Chris Spielman. Not a question about it.
That's a good, and obviously, now from a player perspective, I'd let Braylon be like, hey, what do you think I need to do here? Ask Braylon. I'd ask Stan Edwards. I think Stan Edwards has a lot of great ideas.
Stan's got his finger on the pulse.
He does. He's got a lot of great ideas about how to turn a franchise around.
How about Tom Goss? You going to bring Tom Goss in?
No, I would not bring in Tom Goss. I would not do that. But that is something fun to think
How
about.
about Lloyd?
Again, these older guys, Lloyd's an older guy. I just don't know if they're going to know what DJ to put in the building. I'm
not asking him about that.
I need a guy that knows a little bit about everything.
Okay.
It's just kind of like, I guess I'd go to DJ Tom.
There you go.
DJ Tom T.
Or Choff. How about Choff?
Choff.
DJ Choff.
Oh, you put Choff in?
I'd put Choff in there.
That is one thing
Give it a
Ford
shot.
Field needs, and he's like the Vegas VIP bottle service club type right by the field. You put Choff down there, DJ Ray you dig, and let's go.
Ford Field is freaking 20 years old.
Isn't that crazy?
Did you hear they were trying to get him to say that a Super Bowl is a possibility here? And the only way that Super Bowl is a possibility here is if they blow up Ford Field and start again. And like I said, let the Lions play
at Comerica,
in between the Tiger games, whatever, because it could happen. You could easily do that.
Ship them over to Wayne State.
No, you play at Comerica
you're
building your new
I hated
stadium.
when football teams were playing on baseball fields like they did in
how the
LA, the
Lions
Coliseum.
started, man.
That's what you would have to do if you rebuilt Ford Field in its own place.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know,
you have to.
Blow
it up.
Look, you're gonna in the next 10 years.
It's gotta go.
It's got to go.
It's got to go.
Think about
You
it.
really think it's that bad that it's got to go?
It's boring as hell.
Because
It's been boring since day one.
But that's not the building's fault. It's what's in the building. I mean, we didn't even get cheerleaders till
you know why?
5 years
The
ago.
building has way too many offices and crap. Forget the offices.
Right.
I want football.
Turn those into VIP clubs.
You can have VIP clubs. VIP. It never did it for me. Never.
In the next 10 years, they're going to have to tear down Ford Field.
You think so?
They are, because
I just feel like it was just built, even though it's 20 years old.
I have one of the original bricks.
Think about all the advances that they're putting up at these stadiums. In Las Vegas. Hell, Dallas.
Shut up, Alex.
You've got one coming in Chicago. What's that race park that they're doing at Maz?
At Arlington Park.
At Arlington Park. These new stadiums, the one in L.A. at SoFi. These stadiums.
That was guess where that was? At Hollywood Park, the other racetrack.
These stadiums are going to continue to be next level. There's no way you can have a stadium or play in a stadium and not be next level anymore. And Ford Field just can't be next level. In the next 10 years, they're going to have to knock it down and put something else up. Because a 30-year-old stadium cannot compete in this time period we're living in right now. It just can't.
Or they can get in there somehow. I don't know. Take the top off of it. Really, take the roof off of it. Take some of those office buildings, office space off the top of it. Rebuild something.
Right.
Do something. And get a retractable dome in there.
If they bulldoze Ford Field at this point, is that the losingest stadium in Detroit sports history?
That's good.
Well,
it's good to know.
I mean, you look
No,
at
honestly,
absolutely.
think about it.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
Olympia, they won at.
No, there's
Briggs,
no
they won
comparison.
at. Tiger Stadium, they won at. Comerica Park's hosted World Series.
The only thing won
Palace.
there are the high school championships. That's it.
It's a little bit of a different sport. But take the Palace, for instance. What'd that last from 89 to 16? 89 to 17?
It could have continued.
The Palace remained a state-of-the-art facility.
Yes.
The Palace remained a
It's
state-of-the-art
every
facility.
bit as good as LCA.
And they tore it down 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years is a cap for a stadium. So you are looking at
Except Lambeau, Wrigley, places like that.
something like
Fenway.
that. But this isn't that. This isn't that.
Yeah, because nothing's happened there. That's the thing.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm with you. It's just crazy to me. Like I feel like they
10
just
years
built
is not
it.
a lot of time.
No, 20 years isn't a lot
Yeah.
of time because it went by like that.
10 years is
Sure
not
did.
a lot of time.
That is a lot of losing.
Dude, think about that. 20
That
years.
building, has it ever had a winning season?
Oh yeah, I mean we made the playoffs, but it's
16.
never hosted a playoff game.
I mean, think about the advances in technology. Think about the advances in technology over the last 10 years specifically, over the last 5 years. I just don't know if you could fully equip that building with the technology that is so good at places like SoFi and Allegiant Stadium and the one that's coming in Chicago at Arlington Park.
They finally got the Wi-Fi done in the last 2 years.
Think about that.
It's excellent now. It was pathetic. Plus, they never give you the scores. They never do. But if you have your phone, you can keep up on your own, but they got to really improve it.
It's a disaster.
God bless us.
All right, guys. Armani and Edwards, we'll be right back. Stay right there. More of the program coming up next.
Woodward Sports.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners of the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse in Hamtramck. Our great host there, Chris and Noni Hutt. It's a football and bowling game put together. Chris Hutt made the rules, and it's his show. Make sure you get in there, say hi to him, tell him Woodward Sports Center. 2 ways to play: $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation, 10 or 12 of your closest friends. You can have it for 2 hours and $120.
Beach or wherever you go, Jobby Nooner, you want to be looking good this year, and to get it done, $10
Only
a
$10.
month. Only $10,
Good
Sam.
old Jobby Nooner.
Oh yeah, you got to be looking good at Jobby Nooner. You don't want to be out there looking like
Is that
a
coming
slouch.
soon?
It's the first Friday of summer, so it's June. It's the end of June.
All right.
I run the Jobby Nooner Facebook page, so I'll keep you.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I started it when Facebook first started, and we got like 30,000 people just like that. But
No
either way,
way.
you want to look good for Jobby Nooner so you can impress everybody. Make sure you go to Planet Fitness today. $10 a month will get you in the door, and it's awesome. You can go there. They got the massage chairs. They have all clean workout equipment, and you know what? You can upgrade to that black card too, to where you can bring a friend with you whenever you want. Because what's better than getting fit by yourself? Getting fit with a friend, right, Ryan?
There you go.
There it is.
Ooh-wee.
Planet Fitness, $10 a month. Your fitness
Only $10?
is essential. That's it.
Essential.
Guys, I want to go around the NFL if we could. And happy Easter weekend, Passover, Ramadan. It's all going. It's
Good Friday
coinciding.
today.
It's Good Friday today. Maz, thank you for the lunch today, the
My pleasure.
non-meat lunch.
You got it, brother.
It's some tuna fish.
Only took me 25 minutes to get that sandwich.
Isn't that something, too?
That's it.
I mean, when's the last time?
One person in front of me.
Nobody wants to work
25
anymore.
minutes.
No.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
These two girls couldn't have been more overmatched in your entire life. I literally walked them through how to make the
Get
sandwich.
out of here.
No,
You should have
I'm
just
not.
went back and did it yourself.
I wanted to. I really wanted to.
Dude, paint the picture for me,
I
please.
can't. First of all, I'm driving up to this place. It's in St. Clair Shores. I figured I'll stop real quick. It was only 11:20 at the
Real
time.
quick.
Got to get here by noon. So I figured, 5 minutes in there. First thing I look for, how many cars are in the lot. If there's more than one car in the lot, I pass it by.
You're out.
I'm out. But I pull in one car. I look in the window. There's one guy sitting down and one guy paying for a sandwich. The guy sitting down I didn't realize, has a list this big.
Oh, God, I hate
This
those
big.
people.
And one girl is trying to make the sandwich. Now, here comes the other girl from the cash register. And she talks to the girl, and she's looking at me, pointing at me. And she's like, yeah, wait on him. I'm the only guy standing there. Wait on him. The other guy's sitting. So the girl says, okay, what would you like? So I tell her, tuna fish. What kind of bread would you like? Blah, blah, blah. Make the freaking sandwich. So tuna fish.
Sandwich.
It took her 5 minutes just to cut the roll open.
Oh, my God.
5
That is
minutes.
the worst.
First, she's looking for a knife. Then I can't even explain the speed of cutting this thing open. Then she puts the tuna fish on. I'm like, and she put very little on.
Very light.
I'm like, can you give me a little bit more? Okay.
I'll pay double.
I don't care what I paid at that point. And then I got to tell her what I want on it. And you go down the line. Do you want to toast it? I'm like, no, please, just wrap it. So she wraps it slowly. Guess what? She wraps it again. A second wrap. Even Alex realized. Alex said, you got double wrap there. At this point, I just I couldn't breathe. Then she asks, she gives me one napkin. I'm like, can I have a few more? Okay, a few more. Do you want a meal? I'm like, yeah, at this point, yeah, what the hell? I'll take a soda. I'll take a bag of chips.
A soda.
She gives me the price. It's $12, whatever. I give her a $50. She hands me back change for like a $30. I had to count. I'm like, I need another $13. Oh, okay. Then she had to get the key, open the register. Here I am, 25 minutes to get a sandwich.
What a disaster.
Was the sandwich good?
It was great.
It
Okay,
was
all right.
phenomenal.
Well, there's that.
It
He
was
saved
great.
me half a sandwich.
It was great.
That was a phenomenal sandwich, Maz.
So I digress. Happy Good Friday, everyone.
Absolutely.
I'm thankful.
Easter plans. Now, are you a CEO, Maz?
Am I a what?
CEO.
No, I go all the time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You knew it? I heard that
You know I'm
term
not a
today.
CEO.
What's a CEO?
I'm not a CEO.
Church, Easter, and occasional Sunday.
They used to call them seeing ears.
Seeing ears.
Yeah, seeing ears.
What's that?
Church, Christmas and Easter. And they hate those people because they'd get there and they take the pews up. Meanwhile, the poor saps that show every week, they got to sit in the back.
The poor
Standing
saps,
up.
it calls them.
They got to sit in the back.
Standing up.
No, we go. As a matter of fact, my wife took the girls today for Good Friday.
Oh, my gosh.
And then later tonight, there's Stations of the Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever been to Stations
Oh,
of the
yeah,
Cross?
I have.
Okay. So it's Fish Fry Friday today.
Very, very sad.
It's the least I could do as a Catholic.
I know, right? Exactly.
What can I do?
Guys, go around the NFL real quick.
The Packers got themselves a new receiver.
They did. Sammy Watkins signed a
It's
deal
not a
with them.
bad signing.
I think he's going to be a fine. He's a pro,
is.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to replace Devontae Adams or anything like that.
They're going to draft his replacement.
Absolutely. And I'm not even sure they're going to get his replacement there by the time the Packers pick at 22. That run of wide receivers might already be gone.
Now they'll get somebody.
It is a deep wide receiver draft. Like, of all the positions in this year, wide receiver is the strongest.
I think there's really 4 guys at wide receiver. There's 6 and 7, I think.
Yep.
But the 4 guys, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and this Jamison Williams from Alabama, to me. A lot of
injured player.
But you can't forget Treylon Burks either.
Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
I love Burks.
So 5 guys.
How about that kid, Christian, what's his name?
There you go.
Christian, what's his name?
I don't know Christian. What's his name?
Come on, help me out.
Watson.
Christian Watson.
Oh, yeah, Christian Watson. Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
I'm not fascinated with Dotson. I don't know. Maybe
Braylon loves him.
Braylon loves him. Maybe because his quarterback isn't all that good. Jordan Schultz says that I'm told the Lions want to continue adding speed, playmaking on the perimeter for Jared Goff, who will once again be the guy in Detroit. 3 players they like. North Dakota State's Christian Watson, Purdue's David Bell, and Tennessee's Velus Jones Jr. Tennessee, I like them a lot. I like Christian Watson, fine, great. Purdue's David Bell, he ran a terrible 40 time or something like that.
I don't think I want him.
But if you get him in the 3rd or 4th round, it's a guy.
We'll see.
And again, if Garrett Wilson or Drake London are the highest rated player on your board, take him at 2.
At 2?
I am not against taking a wide receiver at 2.
Neither am I. Really not.
Especially with what you've seen, the impact that
Jamar Chase.
Why is the guy from Minnesota?
Justin
Jefferson. Have made with the Vikings and with the Bengals. I am just not. If there was ever a year to really go out there and just do something different, this is the year.
I mean, for the Lions, drafting a wide receiver high isn't something different. Unfortunately, we learned that lesson in the early 2000s.
But you know, it's been 20 years almost.
It has been. I mean, you're right. But I'm still scarred from it.
Right.
But yeah, this is the first I think you're the first person that's brought up to me about taking a wide receiver at number 2. And like I said, this is a pretty deep wide receiver class. Who would you take there at number 2?
Garrett Wilson
you
or
would
Drake
take
London.
Or Drake London.
Whoever.
London has shown that he wants to be in Detroit because he's boys with Amon-Ra St. Brown. They played together at USC.
Whoever Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have highest on their board. I mean, if Garrett Wilson is being pegged to the Jets at 4, which I've seen in different mocks, is it that big of a stretch to say,
I'd rather have them than Trayvon Walker?
I would rather have Garrett Wilson than Trayvon Walker, than Kyle Hamilton, than Sauce Gardner.
Well, I don't know about Sauce. I like Sauce.
I just think we have so many holes on the defensive side of the ball. You can't spend that draft equity that early on an offensive player.
This is a 2-year process. This is a 2-year process. So get.
I don't think you'd be angry, Stick, if you got one of those big names.
Accumulate the best players you possibly can.
Yeah, I don't get angry at the draft because it's always hindsight, right? You never know who they're going to draft.
But that night of the draft, when we're all sitting at the brass
I would be shocked. I would be shocked
when that pick comes down, and let's say they take Drake London. You'd be. Yeah,
I'd be like, that's my guy now, and that's how I am with the Lions, because I get knocked around here for being a Lions fan.
You are the owner. You are the owner.
I am the owner now. Yeah.
Here's a Ryan Armani special.
Let's hear it.
Here's a Ryan Armani special.
Ooh,
would you select Garrett? I'm just going to say Garrett Wilson because consensus. Would you take Garrett Wilson at 2, package 32 and 34, and move up to 15, 16, and get Derek Stingley Jr.?
Wow.
I wouldn't be upset at that draft.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do it?
No. I want the extra player.
Okay.
I want the extra player.
Saying.
I want 32 and 34. Unless my guy is in the 20s and we want to move up and grab him for sure.
Right.
I don't think Derek Stingley Jr. is that guy.
Now,
terrific player. LSU really does not hurt you. When you draft a player from LSU, that's Braylon's favorite place.
Let me ask you this. 2, 32, 34. How about Garrett Wilson at 2, Dax Hill at 32, and Nakobe Dean at 34? or vice versa. However,
if Nakobe Dean's available in that area and we get him, we won the draft.
But listen, what did we put up the other day? The list of who gets most paid. What's the least one on the list? Linebacker.
Yep.
Linebacker is the least paid, the least important
position on a
team. Linebacker.
Tell the Dallas Cowboys that.
Well, he's not a linebacker. He's a freak.
Yeah.
It's a Swiss Army knife.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a unicorn. I've told you that before.
That's great. All right, guys. Sit tight. Coming back with some videos that you gotta see.
I got some really good ones today.
Armani and Edwards. Woodward Sports Network on a Friday.
In Detroit.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang. Want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac located in Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue. You know, I just sent somebody there yesterday who had a Jeep. Wanted to trade in the car, wondering if Les Stanford would take in that Jeep. They did. They are an authorized lease return center. The person didn't want the car anymore. Coming up on the miles, got rid of it so she didn't get extra charge. I don't know what she got, but she traded her car in. How about that? Les Stanford, your authorized lease return center. Don't get shut out. Don't get left out in the cold. They'll get a car for you. They've got one for you. Don't worry about the chip shortage, all that good stuff. LesStanfordChevrolet.com. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. And they are the Corvette king as well. Nobody sells more Corvettes than Les Stanford. 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. Ooh. That new 2023 Corvette Z06. Get your name on the list. LesStanford.com. Find new roads.
Find them.
Find them. All right, final segment of the program.
Of the week, baby. Of the week.
Friday.
Finish strong, Ryan. Finish strong.
Time of the day, we like to play Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's videos of the day. Only on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, I'm going to start you off with a somber news here, but then we're going to pick it up after that. One of my favorite all-time athletes, the great Mike Bossy of the New York Islanders, passed away today. Battled lung cancer, and he's gone way too early. It is mid-60. I think he's turned 66 years old just recently. Number 22, scored 60 goals 6 times, 50 goals a bunch of times in a row. He was amazing. Only 10 years in the league, bad back and all. And won 4 Stanley Cups for the Islanders. Could have won the 5th one, but Wayne Gretzky and those kids, the Oilers, were just a little bit too much for him. So Mike Bossy, we're going to miss you. I am especially. But here he is scoring 50 goals in 50 games back in those 80s. The guy. Loved them, always love them, always loved those Islanders. They maybe fall in love with hockey. So it's a dark day in the NHL as far as that goes. Here we go now. Last night, little baseball. Hey, guys, I hope this guy was wearing a cup. That's all I got to see.
This is great.
This is a failed.
You see this stick?
I have not.
This is a failed pickoff move at first. We're going to see that a couple of different times. And the way he drops.
Straight down.
Right down.
I need time.
And hit him right.
And even if he is wearing a cup, like that, that's coming at you at least 70 miles an hour.
Look at the rest of it. Look at the other guys just looking at him.
Poor guy. He's like, I need time. I need time.
They could tag him out because he'd be out.
Well, he called for time. As he's falling to the ground. Time.
Oh, my God.
You guys ever been hitting the man region like that?
Not like that.
Oh, yeah.
Hard?
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Not like that.
I used to umpire, and I did it once without a cup. The foul ball underneath the catcher popped up. Hit me right in the tank.
This one
is awful.
This video, guys, I can't even explain this video. This was taking place a couple of years ago. Remember when Kawhi Leonard hit that shot for the Raptors the year they won the championship? It bounced on the rim, and then it went in against the Sixers.
Yeah, one of the greatest film shots in NBA history.
Are you ready for this? This is a family in Philadelphia watching that very moment. Just, I rest my case.
Kawhi Leonard just hit the clutch three. Wow, son. Wow, son. Wow, son. Jesus Christ.
Have you ever seen anything as sweet as that?
You know who that
kid is awesome.
That kid is me.
Yes.
That kid is me as a kid.
Me too.
That kid is me as a kid. You know when that was me? When Bird stole the ball.
Wow.
When Bird stole the ball, I think I started crying.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me when Justin Tucker kicked a 65-yard field goal this year. That was 40-year-old me.
You and Anthony.
Yeah, that was me. No!
When Bird stole that ball, underneath the DJ, laid it in. I was that kid. That was me. Oh, there's a steal by Bird underneath the DJ, laid it in.
Most annoying announcer of all time.
Screw you.
That's Johnny Most, by the way.
he's trash.
Do you know he dropped a cigarette in his lap one game and set his pants on fire?
It can happen.
Only in Boston.
It can happen.
Oh, my God. By the way, go back to Mike Bossy. Rest in peace. Do you know he used to smoke in between periods? I mean, this guy loved his cigarettes. And he unfortunately dies of lung cancer. But here's a guy that smoked. But this is my hero. I could talk about my guy that way. The guy liked to smoke. It cost him his life. But he liked to smoke. That's all I want to say. Did you happen to see Aaron Rodgers at his little football camp this week?
I saw this as
well. Did you see it, Stick?
I did.
Here's Aaron Rodgers at a little football camp.
So good.
I love that.
That kid's going to like Wheeling University or something like that
awesome.
for play football. And everybody was like, oh, well, he jokingly threw it at the kid. No, he was pissed. He probably threw it at that kid trying to hurt him.
I love that.
Zero accuracy on both of those throws, though. He threw the interception and he missed the kid.
That camp raised $375,000. So good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good for them, man. I got one more for you. Did you ever have like ant problems in your backyard? Not aunt, uncle, but
ants.
Real ants.
A-N-T.
And what do? You take like the hot water and you like pour it in the cracks of the cement.
That Raid.
Oh, you get the Raid?
I go with the aerosol can and the lighter.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this one?
Burn them.
This guy was close to what you did.
All right.
He hooked up a hose.
Oh, no.
He hooked up a hose to his propane tank.
Oh, no.
Put it in the hole.
Oh, no.
And now he's trying to throw a match in it.
No. Idiot.
Let's hear the sound, Alex.
Look at the dog.
No sound? Okay,
Look
watch.
at the
No
dog.
way. What's he doing?
Watch. He's
going to kill his dog.
Watch how he gets rid of his ant problem in his backyard.
I don't know if I'm scared about this.
Just keep watching.
Does it blow up his whole yard?
Keep watching.
Oh! Where'd the dog go? Okay, dogs are good.
The dog's okay.
All right.
I would not have showed you had the dog been hurt. He blew up his yard.
Oh, my God.
Is that not something?
That's one way to do it.
I can't believe it. Holy cow. Incredible. That is crazy. Don't do that at home, kids.
Do not do that at home.
Guys, this has been a phenomenal week. Stick, thank you for being a part of the program.
Appreciate your invite.
Sit next to me anytime, man.
Love it, man.
And be my wingman anytime.
Oh,
Maz,
man.
I'll ride or die with you, baby.
Love you, brother.
Looking forward to Monday.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. Braylon Edwards will be back on Monday.
Yeah, Braylon.
My brother from another mother, Braylon Edwards. I love you. I miss you so much. I just want to hug on you.
I miss our daily
and
hugs.
See you.
Right?
Oh, my gosh. I love my guy, Braylon Edwards. You know what? No offense to like anybody that sits in that chair, but when you're missing your guy Braylon, there is something about the kinship that we have together. So
Gassed.
I miss you, Braylon.
I wore my maize and blue to do the best I could, man.
Stick, I love you so much. Hold on.
Oh, we're gonna hug it out?
Hold on.
Oh, my.
This is how we end the week, buddy.
Oh, jeez.
I love you, man. Alex, Sam, you guys are my people. Maz, I love you, man.
Peace, man.
I love you. And I love you. Hey, tell a friend about Woodward Sports Network. Please subscribe on YouTube. Give us a look. Guys in the Morning, the Morning Wood Show, 8 to 10. Big D Energy with D-Mac and Neil Rule at 11 to 1. And then us here on the Bottom Line. Don't forget about the heavyweights.
And Woodward Bets.
Back there. Woodward Bets comes on at 4:30 right here. Chris Prince, Chris Robbins, Scotty G. They got your winners for this weekend and tonight. This network is doing great things, and we hope you're along for the ride. And while you're at it, please patronize our sponsors. Without them, we don't have a Woodward Sports. Go Foaling. Go to the warehouse and go Foaling. Have a night out. If you're buying a car, get it from Les Stanford.
Right.
If you're getting an alarm system, go to Guardian Alarm. If you're getting a tan, go to Chili Peppers
And
Tanning.
these are all local companies,
Absolutely.
too. Like, this isn't national brand. This is all people that support
Get your
Detroit.
full on.
Go eat at the seafood bar at Big Boy tonight.
look,
I'm
Big
out
Boy.
to tonight, right?
Go grab a Gypsy vodka. If you're getting a mortgage, go to Hall Financial. You know what I mean? Like
I did.
Do these things because they mean a lot to us and they keep us around for a lot longer. So thanks so much, everybody. We love you guys. Happy Easter and happy Passover, Ramadan, whatever you celebrate. They're all coinciding today and this weekend. So be well. Be nice to people. Woodward Sports Network.
Don't be mad.
Don't be Maz.
Mad.
In the air to left, Benintendi, the Gold Glover, has it. Cabrera is going to try and score. The throw all the way to the plate. He's in there.